What does it mean to live a happy and fulfilling life? This question, asked countless times throughout the ages, continues to perplex us. Some say happiness is a fleeting emotion, transient and unpredictable, while fulfillment is a deeper, more satisfying state of being, the result of meaningful pursuits and achievements. Others might argue that happiness is a state of mind, a choice to be content with what one has, while fulfillment is the realization of personal potential. Indeed, the definitions of happiness and fulfillment are as diverse as the individuals who seek them. For some, it might be found in the simple joys of life like a good meal or a beautiful sunset. For others, it might be the thrill of achieving a long-held goal, or the satisfaction of making a difference in the world. But what if there was a path, a philosophy that could guide us towards both happiness and fulfillment? Could the ancient philosophy of Stoicism hold the key to a satisfying life? Stoicism, a philosophy dating back to ancient Greece, may seem far removed from our modern lives. Yet its principles are timeless, offering us invaluable insights on how to navigate life's complexities. Let's delve deeper into the core tenets of Stoicism. First and foremost, Stoicism urges us to understand the dichotomy of control. It's about acknowledging that while we don't have control over everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. Picture a stormy sea, with waves crashing and winds howling. You can't calm the storm, but you can adjust your sails. In life, just as in sailing, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. Next, Stoicism teaches us about the impermanence of life. Everything around us, including our own lives, is transient. We're here today, gone tomorrow. This isn't meant to be a bleak or morbid outlook. Instead, it's a call to cherish the present moment, to appreciate the beauty of now. By accepting life's fleeting nature, we can live more fully, savoring each moment before it slips away. Finally, at the heart of Stoicism lies virtue and character. This ancient philosophy encourages us to strive for moral excellence, to be the best versions of ourselves. It's not about achieving fame, wealth, or power. Instead, it's about cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Stoicism tells us that it's not what we have that defines us, but who we are and how we behave. Stoicism, then, is a philosophy of life that promotes resilience, mindfulness, and virtue. It's not about denying emotions or suppressing feelings. Instead, it's about understanding our emotions, accepting life's transience, and focusing on what truly matters: our character and our actions. In essence, Stoicism teaches us to master our responses to life's ups and downs. One of the cornerstone principles of Stoicism is the understanding of what is within our control and what is not. Now let's dive into this concept a bit further. Life, as we know it, is a complex tapestry of events and experiences. Some of these events we can influence with our actions, others we simply cannot. It's like the weather. No matter how much we wish for sunshine on a rainy day, our desires alone can't clear the skies. The Stoics understood this. They believed that our energy is best spent focusing on the things within our power to change. This includes our own actions, our responses to events, and our attitudes towards life's ups and downs. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. You can't control the traffic, it's an external event. But what you can control is your reaction to it. You can choose to stress and fret, or you can use the time to listen to an enlightening podcast, or simply enjoy the quiet moment before the hustle of your day begins. This shift in focus, from the uncontrollable to the controllable, can have a profound impact on our lives. It can minimize the stress that comes from wrestling with the uncontrollable and maximize the contentment that comes from acting within our sphere of influence. Moreover, it's not just about reacting to events, but also about our proactive actions. We can choose to act with kindness, to pursue our passions, to stand up for what we believe in. These are all things within our control, and when we focus our energy here, we can truly shape our lives in accordance with our values. Remember, the world will keep spinning, with or without our consent. But we can choose how we dance to its rhythm. By recognizing what we can and cannot control, we can navigate life's waves with a serene heart and a clear mind. By focusing on what we can control, we can minimize stress and maximize contentment. Stoicism also teaches us to accept the impermanence of life. This acceptance is not about resigning ourselves to fate, but rather acknowledging the transient nature of everything around us. It's about understanding that all things, whether they are careers, relationships, or even our own lives, are temporary. Within the Stoic philosophy, acceptance is a powerful tool. It helps us to navigate through life's ups and downs without being overwhelmed by them. By accepting that change is a fundamental part of life, we can better appreciate the present moment and avoid the stress that comes with resisting the inevitable. Consider this: a flower blooms, it's vibrant and full of life. Then over time, it wilts and eventually returns to the earth. This is not a cause for sorrow, but rather a reminder of the cycle of life. The flower does not resist this process. It simply exists, and in doing so, it achieves a state of peace that humans often find elusive. The Stoics believed that, like the flower, humans could also find peace by accepting the natural flow of life. By embracing the impermanence of everything, we can let go of the fear of losing what we have and open ourselves up to the joy of experiencing each moment fully. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well." This quote encapsulates the essence of acceptance in Stoicism. It's about aligning our desires with reality, rather than trying to force reality to fit our desires. When we practice acceptance, we relieve ourselves of the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. We free ourselves from the fear of loss and the anxiety of uncertainty. Instead, we gain the tranquility that comes from knowing we can handle whatever life throws at us. This is not to say that accepting the impermanence of life is easy. It's a practice, a daily commitment to seeing the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. But the rewards of this practice are immense. Acceptance allows us to experience life fully, without fear or regret. Because in the end, it's not about how long we live, but how fully we live each moment that truly counts. Finally, Stoicism places a high value on virtue and character. It's not just about mastering our reactions or accepting the world as it is, although both are crucial. At its very core, Stoicism calls us to cultivate our inner landscape, to nurture our character and our virtues. But what do we mean by virtue and character in the context of Stoicism? Well, virtue refers to the qualities that make us good human beings, qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's about developing these qualities within ourselves, not for any external reward, but simply because they are the right things to do. Character, on the other hand, is the sum total of these virtues, the manifestation of our inner values in our actions and behaviors. It's about being consistent, reliable, and true to our principles, regardless of the situation or the people we are dealing with. Now, you might be wondering, why such emphasis on virtue and character? Well, the Stoics believed that a life lived virtuously is a life lived well. They taught that happiness isn't about chasing fleeting pleasures or accumulating material wealth. Instead, it's about living in accordance with nature, about being the best version of ourselves we can be. And that's where the true power of Stoicism lies. It encourages us to focus on what truly matters, to invest our time and energy in cultivating our character and virtues. It beckons us to live authentically, to act with integrity, and to treat others with kindness and respect. Does this mean we'll be free from pain, suffering, or adversity? Certainly not. But it does mean that we'll be better equipped to handle whatever life throws at us. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what happens to us, but how we respond to it. And that, my friends, is the essence of Stoicism. It's not a quick fix or a magic pill. It's a philosophy, a way of life that calls us to be better, to do better, and to live better. Because our character and virtue are the cornerstones of a life lived well. So, how can Stoicism help us live a happy and fulfilling life? Let's recap what we've explored. The Stoic philosophy prompts us to understand control, teaching us to distinguish between what is within our grasp and what isn't. This understanding allows us to navigate life's uncertainties with equanimity, avoiding unnecessary stress and worry. Next, Stoicism invites us to accept impermanence, the ever-changing nature of life. It encourages us to embrace change and adapt to it, rather than resist it. This acceptance cultivates resilience and fosters an appreciation for the present moment. Finally, Stoicism emphasizes virtue, the pursuit of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It encourages us to live according to these principles, fostering a sense of purpose and fulfillment. With these tenets at its core, Stoicism provides a roadmap to a happier, more fulfilling life. It encourages us to live mindfully, courageously, and virtuously. The practice of Stoicism, then, is a journey towards a life of serenity, contentment, and fulfillment.